Hello, my name is Creostix, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Case 5, continuing exactly from where we left off. I'll be alright, Mr. Naruhodo. After them, go! And there was a bang and everything, yes. Behind that door, in the storeroom, hurry! I think we saw that in the video cutscene as well, so they're like replaying the same thing. Oh, he was holding a gun. I think I missed it. Okay. It's Gina? Oh no! From that moment, Windybank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Well, I mean, you know, the deals were also quite crimely, so, you know. Yes. Illegal discounts. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. Righto. "16th of April, 6:21 a.m., Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. Oh, Iris. A telegram came, but all it said was, wait at home. Oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back. When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Bruno? Poor Iris, she's trembling. Okay, she's obviously trying very hard to not let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know. Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yes, I'm afraid so. Let's go. So, events at Windybanks. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windybank is dead. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning. Oh, yes, I had a feeling. You did? Well, I saw all those police carriages pulling up outside his shop, so I knew something must have happened there. That is fair. When we entered the Windybanks in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street, and I chased after them, but they got away. So it was one of them who shot old Mr. Windybank, I suppose. I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. Oh, why not? They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina. Ginny? But why? Probably because she was holding a gun, probably of a different caliber, but you know, it's the police, so you know. Well, the thing is... No, Ginny wouldn't do something like that. I know. None of us think she did it. Then why have they arrested her? I'm sorry, there was nothing I could do. Sholmes' situation. So where's Hurley then? Is she still there investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals. I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to hospital this morning. What? Well, when we entered Windybanks, a gun was fired, and he took a bullet. Hurley was shot? No. It's alright, his life isn't in danger. Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital? He's at the Saint Sinners. They're tending to him. Saint Sinners. Okay, cool. That sounds like the place for me. Yeah. I must see him at once. I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't. Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed. No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see. To operate? Oh, poor Hurley. Injured Sholmes. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Windybank's shop. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them! Go! After that, I ran out into the street, but, well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry, it's my fault. I let them get away. I think that's a very good thing. Sorry? Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Bruno. But I have protagonist powers! On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that. Oh, Iris. Susato's situation. Where's Susie, Bruno? She's still at the police station. Oh, why? I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while. Why aren't you there then? Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. And Miss Sato stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later. Ah, I see. Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early. You should have let me know, and I would have come to the station. And Gina's arrest. I don't understand why they arrested Ginny, it's not fair. What about the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they? Well, not dead, but... No, I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris. Ah, this is all so horrible. The thing is, Mr. Windybank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all the deposited articles. And the storeroom door was locked from the inside. I see, but he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well. Oh no. And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards... Don't tell me. There was no one else in the room? Yes, exactly. How did you know? It's the only explanation. Yes, the only explanation indeed. What do you mean by that, Bruno? Well, what can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment, but I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on. I want to go too. Take me with you, Bruno. Well then. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting. I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder. But I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me. Oh yes, I'd love to. Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed. And don't forget we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation. Ah, I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Okie dokie. Right, so, I mean... I'm kinda more curious about the pawnbrokery at first. Even though the game kind of hinted at for me to go to the hospital, but... I mean, they are probably operating, it's fine. Let's see. 16th of April, Windybank's pawnbrokery. This is where it happened then, last night. That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables. But apart from the policeman here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance, apart from whatever that bit is over there. No, you're right about that, actually. In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking. I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals, all dressed in black. Oi, I heard that. Oh, Inspector, good morning. Suppose I have to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the three rogues get away, mind. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I thought you'd assigned extra men to the beat around here, Grexy. Now look at what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty. Ah. Your ladyship! He exploded! How interesting! Yes, the exploding Inspector Gregson. No one told me you were coming. Well, I mean... Did you not see? Like I feel like she was rather, like, you know, obviously there. I feel like you should recognize her, ladyship, when she is around. That seems like rather, like, you know, simple, you know, noticing reality, you know, just, you know, simple things, yes? I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care. Of course, your ladyship, the very best doctors in the capital are attending to him as we speak. I don't think it's Runo's fault that the rogues managed to get away, as that chasing criminals is the police's job. Absolutely, your ladyship, as you say, ma'am, as you say. Interesting. Curious. The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone is in agreement about that. Oh, how lovely. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Oh, where are my manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice refreshing fruit juice? This is weird. I don't understand. Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Grexy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me, if you'd like some. Glug glug. Ah, lovely. Ta very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. I don't even recognize him like this. Uh-huh. Have you gone over the personality change problem? Can we talk? The investigation. So, how is the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple case this. There's some very definitive evidence. Oh, isn't there always? We're just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact. Oh, is it a deep-sea diver? Did you find scuba gear? Yes. I know. Gina, you're going to charge her with a bayonet, maybe? Is that the plan? That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow. Huh. You don't waste time, do you? In getting probably innocent people in jail? Definitive evidence, you say? Well, what is it? Come on, show me. Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid... Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you? What the... And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you? How could you... How... Ah... That's even weirder, like... The thugs who were in here are captured and he's gonna just believe them when they say, oh, it was the girl who shot. Uh-huh. That is, Gregson, bad police work, as always. Lovely. How could you possibly know that? I had a feeling, that's all. Remind me never to try and keep a secret from Iris. Well, we do know his father is super dead. That's a bit of a problem. Although, at some point she doesn't deserve to know, yes? Like, you know, it's gruesome and terrible, but... So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you? Well, yes, they were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison. She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course. Okie dokie, Mr. Sholmes. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition? Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential. I don't think he knows. Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinner's. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know? I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. Is the hospital's policy. No visiting at all. Oh. The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He lost a fair bit of blood. Oh no. Well, I mean, I don't... Midriff. If he's still alive at this point, I assume they fixed the blood loss at least. Sorta. Hopefully internally too. So... I mean... If it's only an artery, and he's now in the hospital, I mean, yeah, 1890s. Infection problems are... But point being, it doesn't sound like they hit like gastrointestinal stuff, so at least that sort of fixing isn't required, which again could probably be a huge problem in the 1890s. He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so, but a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down. Mr. Sholmes is human like the rest of us, you know? Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They gotta stop that bleeding. Oh, they're doing it. Okay, interesting. But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better. Of course, your ladyship. He'll be as red as rain before you know it. Really? How do you know? How do I know it? Well, because of course. Ah, yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective, that's why. Oh, what the hell? What's going on? We'd better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again. Oh dear, please don't die, Hurley. I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theatre. Okie dokie, her ladyship. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. What? Out with it, sunshine. Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. What's the source, Sonny? I'm a copper and we don't go in for favoritism. But he's right, you do treat us differently. It's because of those Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes stories, that's why. Oh. I crop up in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson. Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's. What did you write about the Inspector, Iris? I don't remember, really. It was one of Sholmes's lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it. Oh, did I write that? And you know what that one line did for me, huh? The very next month, my bay doubled. Doubled, I tell you. Oh, that's amazing. Amazing. All because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all the Sherlock Sholmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me. Whoa. Well, it's a little weird, or odd maybe, but... Well, the fan club bit is very odd. But point being... So Sherlock Sholmes is a fraud, but my understanding is that the stories that Iris writes are not frauds, that they're essentially logical and reasoning, right? Therefore, it's probably not a bad idea if police officers read the stories that, like, might help them get some, you know, detective-like creative thinking, you know? Of course, that explains everything. it was around that time that you became such a toady to me. Can you blame me? All it takes is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective will say. He is getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out in print, huh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost worrying about it. But that would never happen, Gregsy. Every month when the new Rants magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages. Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves. With the pinky out and everything. Very elegant, yes. Ah, lovely. Thank you very much. I've really hit the spot, your ladyship. Teetotal. I'm not sure I get it, but oh, yeah, there's something I was supposed to talk to you about actually, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, what is it? I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now. An important message? I wonder what it could be. Let's go. Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector? Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side, your assistant, Susato. Dear Susie, is she alright? She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe. Nope, not anymore. She had to head off. For the Chief Justice invitation, whatever, right? The Lord Strongheart's office, of course, he summoned her. Ah, yes, of course. I'd forgotten about that. One of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage, and after we'd finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you that she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there. Okay. Well, that's nice. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a blooming messaging service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector. Why did Susie have to go to see the Lord Chief Justice? She didn't tell me. But I'd better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Okay. I kind of imagine I can't really inspect... Oh, I can't even check that bit. That looked kind of interesting there. Alright, then let's see what we can uncover. Oh, what do you think you're doing, Sunshine? You can't touch anything in here. Oh, but we're hoping to investigate. This is a crime scene, for Pete's sake. No touching. What's the problem, Gregsy? Runa's a lawyer, you know that. Oh, I'm ever so sorry, your ladyship. Ever so sorry. The rules and regulations are a thorn in my side. Of course, if Mr. Naruhodo was to have been properly appointed by the accused, that would be another matter. The accused? If you could show me some representation papers, I'd be only too happy to let you nose around. Did you hear that, Bruno? You need Ginny to sign some representation papers. It looks like presenting the detective here with the correct paperwork is the only way. Yeah, I kind of imagined that could be the case. Alright, let's go. So, a lot of new location. Boom, let's go. Let's go find Susato first if we can. 16th of April, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness, somehow. I see. Well, maybe we need to break the oppression, yes. Maybe that'll just Cure the problem right up. It'll be awesome. Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal. How so? I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you? Maybe it thinks the same about you. So everything is clear with regards to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust. Yes, thank you very much. There they are, Susato-san and Lord Strongheart. I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious. Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. What did you just say? You return to your homeland? Susato-san. Oh, Miss Naruhodo. What was all that about? Ah, Miss Naruhodo, thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's this all about? Why were we talking about Miss Sato's return to their homeland? And tomorrow? Tomorrow? But what about Jeannie's trial? You mean... she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. Okie dokie. Returning to our homeland. Mrs. Sato, what's all this about? Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as it has. That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving? It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no. Professor Mikotoba? If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant, Runosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news. 10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown. And it seems he grows weaker day by day. I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Mrs. Sato's departure as much as possible. Yes, absolutely. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. I can't believe this is happening. Okay, Gina's trial. So Gina has been charged. She'll have to appear in court. Yeah, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of her trial has already been set for tomorrow. No, not even 24 hours later? Gina. Ah, the Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the art is overstretched as it is, without wasting time on these open and shut cases. It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart. In deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave, now. Of course, Lord Strongheart. Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time that it takes to unravel all their untruths, meanwhile more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters. Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday? My memory is blanking on that one. I don't know. Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday. I'll take your word for it. It's no concern. Again, it's been a couple of days since I played the last bit, so... it's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. Okie dokie. 3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me. There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart, which is, it's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her. A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation. But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial. Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. Yes, thank you. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. If this is a final case, I do wonder if Strongheart for some reason or another like appears in court or something. Because, you know, I don't know. Gina charged with murder, and Susato-san about to leave. Like, what a day, yeah. Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste. But Susie... You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can. Thank you, Mr. Sato. That's a very pensive look. Alright, let's, if I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can as a lawyer. Oh, cool. Let's check the hospital first. Just I gotta, you know, make sure that we can't talk to Sherlock yet, or Sherlock. 16th of April, St. Sinner's Hospital, Ward 3. Hurley! Oh. Mr. Sholmes is nowhere to be seen. No, that's strange. The nurse definitively said he was in bed by the window, didn't she? Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home. I'm not sure about that, baby or not. There's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mrs. Sholmes suffered. Oh dear, I do hope Mrs. Sholmes will be alright. Hello, what have we here? This ward is off limits, no visiting, so what are you doing here, huh? And where are your eyes? Well, have you know we're Hurley's next of kin? Oh, well, begging your pardon then, ma'am. A little lady and a curious Eastern pair, the great mystery solver as a mysterious family, huh? If that's how you see us, sure. Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley? I believe he is currently in the operating theater, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation. Extensive? It has been several hours since he went in. Oh my, has there been some kind of problem? Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is. No! I've heard a report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Ah. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later. Oh, poor Hurley. Okie dokie. And then prison, let's go. Let's get the lady to sign some papers. 16th of April, local prison, cell 13. Of course it is 13. Hello, Gina. They let you keep the smoke gun, huh? Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made. I wish you wouldn't point it at me all the time, though. What are you here for? Ginny? I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So we were thinking that we might be able to help you. Well, you can't. Sorry. You heard. Get lost. Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't. You think you know me? Pull the other one. Oh. You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. We know that much, but that's not murder, though. And if I saw me chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. I don't doubt that either, but that's different than murder. Just to see what I could lay me hands on, get it? That's the kind of person I am. Again, not murder. But Ginny. I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cove came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like, said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer, I don't need no one. She couldn't be staring at me any more obviously if she tried. Why are you being like this, Ginny? Ouch. That is one stern look Sato-san is giving Gina. Okay, do you understand that you'll be sent to the gallows without representation? Yes? Legal representation. I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? You wanted me to sign some papers, representation papers or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway, the whole trial. They'll pin it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do. I hope that's not what grown-ups always do, but you're gonna end up guilty if you don't have representation. Sorry. So, papers, please. Yes. Why do you think that? Because that's how it's always been for me, growing up in the back slums my whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, it'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers or worse. For a street urchin, that sounds kind of probable, unfortunately, so yeah. I've had it happen to me before and all, been sold out and nearly snaffled on the back of it. You can't trust no one, that's the point. As soon as you do, you're gone to grass, dead. Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could... Forget it. Ginny. Don't you trust Runo? Nah, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. What happened? Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night at the pawnbroker's. There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me and you know the rest. Do we? But why, Ginny? Why would you do that? Ain't it obvious? The place is just full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ain't easy, you know, it's a lot of work, and half the time you don't even get nothing. Is that really why you broke into the place? What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else? Oh, give it a rest. What'd be the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind a bit of difference. Please tell us, Ginny. We'll believe you, whatever it is. Believe me? Don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. It's like watching Doctor House. Yes, everybody lies, and that's the show. I like that show though. I think, all the seasons somewhere. I need to like rummage around a bit, but I think I do. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest one of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have. What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies? Okay. What did you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? Like in a parking lot, or what? Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you've told are? Maybe you can help. Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna wanna question me now. Ginny, please. Oh yeah. I wanted to give you this, something to remember me by. A photo of a snowman and a cat. A photographic print of a really adorable cat. I found it in one of the pockets of this coat. It ain't no point in me having it. I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in a pocket of that overcoat. Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye. Oh, Ginny. A photograph depicting a sweet little white cat obtained from Gina while interviewing her in her prison cell. Right. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. What? I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Huh? Farewell? Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie. Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They've put their faith in you. But somehow you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. What? It's my fault? Yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now, I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Huh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, huh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Seems like, yeah. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? Like maybe you actually burned down the entire carriage and the carriage is actually in your pocket because of anime. Yes. I think that's how it all works, right? The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted. Ah, the case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. I do wonder if McGilded actually ended up being the killer, sorta. Like, it's still very unclear, and I wonder if the game will eventually let us know about that. Or maybe the sequel? I don't know. It's interesting, odd, strange. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Will you tell us about it now? Whoa, okay, a completely new dialogue bit. Let's go. And it like zoomed in too, like, you know, like I was actually a little thrown off because I kind of felt like I'm not sure, but it felt like the screen was slightly more zoomed out than usual in the prison scene, but I wasn't sure though. I don't know. Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand. And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. That trial was so weird that I'm not even prepared to say that he was acquitted based on her testimony. Like, it was more like all of the evidence got tampered multiple times over and whatever. Like, it was weird. Like, proper weird. I knew it. What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night, that was the truth. Okay. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole, I couldn't see a thing, and then... Yeah, so far so real, right? Or true. Or at least that's what she said before. I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor, yeah? And that's when Mr. McGilded discovered you? Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. Right. There weren't much of light to see by, but when I looked at me hands, I had the cove's blood all over them. I was so scared I couldn't even speak. You had its blood on your hands? In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight. Yeah, that's what the sort of the image is kind of telling us here too. Then Mr. McGilded started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were and why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did, only that's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Threatened you how? Made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And about what he was gonna do after the cove was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarp her before the coppers showed up. Right. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Whoa! I mean, I'm glad we get some, you know, clarity maybe about this thing, but lot of dialogue to go through. Let's dive in. What you saw. You said Mr. McGilded made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you? Yes, with Mr. McGilded sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but... It was when I heard the thud of the cove hitting the floor, I let out a little scream, see, couldn't help it. McGilded heard that and dragged me out by the arm, and that's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer what had been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny. One of the music box things? A disc? Do you mean... Yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off of me at Windybanks. So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus. It had McGilded's name on it, so, not for long, Mr. McGilded spotted it straight away. He picked it up, smartish, and stuffed it inside his inside pocket. So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the bog trotter told me I weren't to mutter a word of it to no one. Okay, what you heard? Because it was so dark under that seat in the cab, I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably that was McGilded getting on board. Nah, not only him. Oh, because I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. Good ear. In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilded and the victim, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilded claimed that he slept during the carriage ride. Good notes, Sasato, that's helpful, because I am kind of hazy on the details. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it. And your own testimony, Gina, supported his. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that weren't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time in low voices. What? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud. But that still tells us something. Mr. McGilded and the victim knew each other. So McGilded was lying as I suspected. After the event. I knew it weren't gonna take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, Mr. McGilded told me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The 2 cobs from up top ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right, and after they'd gone, McGilded asked the driver to do him a favor. A favor? Now then, fella, what I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now. Aye, I'll give you 10 guineas. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street? Yep, you got it. It was Windybanks. Okay, hold on. I just so that I'm not Right, so after they gone, McGilded asked her to do him a favor. Right, okay. Okay, so the others were indeed, yeah, preoccupied. Interesting. The coachee snapped up the money and ran off to pop this coat as fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGilded opened the box under the seat. Let me get out of there, but not without conditions. I see. Okay, McGilded's conditions. I still wonder if he was really dead, but I guess we gotta just roll with that assumption until we're just, proven otherwise. What were Mr. McGilded's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean. Not telling a soul, not for anything, about what I saw and what I heard. And there was something else as well. There's more? Yeah, this is the most important thing, he said. I'm after sending the coach... I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me with some small change in his hand. I'm trying to think of this in like an Irish accent, but the "I'm after sending the coachman" is a weird sentence. The "I'm" bit. Like the "after" bit is not supposed to be there. Like, I'm sending the coachman on a little errand for me. Like, the "after" bit, it seems completely unnecessary and like should be deleted. Maybe. Like, this game is big on writing accents. I'm kind of, oh well. At least like I think I understand what they mean, so that's a win, right? Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? You asked him to go pop your weasel, right? Aye. The fiend's taken me overcoat to deposit with the pawnbroker hereabouts. And I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand? What? You want me to have the ticket? That's right, and I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You're to hang on to it until then, is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawn shop, Windybank so it is, and you're to extend the loan before the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited and any old fiend could come along and buy it. Ah, but I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5, that should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now if you go against me. Yeah, I get it. Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt. The coppers? Aye. They'll come asking you to take the stand in court, to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What it is that you might say, and what it is that you won't. I imagine this is like talking, but in like dots. After we'd gone over it all, I piked it. Got as far away from there as I could. He hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. So McGilded planned it, and coerced Gina into giving false testimony. Alright. I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied in that big old courtroom. I told some corkers. Well, you were coerced to, in a very, very, forced manner, I'd say. That's for one. The thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man. He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us, and we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean Mr. McGillett would have... In a heartbeat, he could have had the lot of us chased out of there if he wanted. And then where could we have gone? Eh, nowhere, that's where. Well... I wonder how impossible it would be to go on foot into like another big city in this era. It would require at least the rations though, and that's what they probably wouldn't have though. Like food and stuff for the journey. Yeah, that is an issue, isn't it? It's really hard to think like how long it would take on foot to go from one city to another. Like I'm trying to like imagine it, you know. But I don't know, a few days, yeah, something like that. A week, 2 weeks, I don't know. So I didn't have no choice. Then again, if it was that easy, then again, why wouldn't they have gone there anyway? But then again, it's London, which is the biggest city, meaning the biggest like opportunity to pickpocket stuff, probably. I don't know. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor. A favor? What? Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Huh? If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. We need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mrs. Sholmes was shot, you see. You what? Hurley's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is it gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright, right? That's why I want to investigate, for Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything. I mean, and yours. Like, that's a weird thing to say. Right, so what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy, is that it? Something like that. Mr. Sato? Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. She's our living archive with all of this stuff, it seems. I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer, nothing. You do, actually, and, you know, we are not busy right now, so... Poor Jeannie, she seems so lonely. She does, but in some bits, it's sorta self-imposed as well. Like, you know, I understand why she wouldn't let anyone close, like, she's probably been betrayed multiple times over. But she's still hostile to people as, like, a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th, like, you know, course of action, so... That's a self-fulfilling prophecy of like professing that you're alone and then being a dick to everyone. That's a bit of an issue. I get why, but that's still somewhat self-imposed nonetheless. Like it's, you know, it's about victimizing yourself. I think, like you know, it's not about isolating yourself from everyone. It's more like improving your own. Like character compass to realize who is at least somewhat trustworthy, if not fully. Like, you know, give small bits to someone as a trust thing, and then see what works. You know. The paperwork signed by Gina to put me in charge of her defense. Showing this to Scotland Yard, detectives gains us access to the crime scene. There we effing go. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windybanks now. Yes, and perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done here. Or there. Yeah. That was a pretty good scene. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us investigating at Windybanks. Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Probably true. To be continued. Oh, whoa. Yeah, I think I read it. It had like 4 investigation bits, so well, it fits. So the actual proper this case investigation will be in the next one. So, indeed, if you are watching this on YouTube, if you've enjoyed this, it would really rock my world if you would drop a like, and if you would like to see more of this stuff, please do subscribe. It would actually genuinely help and make my day. And join me here live on Twitch, watching me try and solve stuff while being a dum-dum. So it might be fun. So, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope to see you, or I hope you feel like it's worth a watch on the next bit of the case as well. And I'll be back, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you have an excellent day. Have a good one, and bye-bye.